The best example I can give is anyone who knows anyone who's ever been in trouble with anything legal. What do they say? Talk to my lawyer. If you get any kind of trouble, talk to my lawyer. You should treat your agent, me as your agent, you should look at me as your real estate, protection.
Build your dream today. We show you the way. Luxury leads come to play. New homes here to stay. Marketing's our game. Elevate your name. Reach for the fame. Never just the same. We're the iconic agent. New construction's our lane. Teaching you the secrets for luxury gains. Digital wave we ride. Strategies we provide. No need to hide. Success is on your side. Close deals like a pro. Watch your profits grow. High standards we show. Feel that golden glow. We're the iconic agent. New construction's our lane. Teaching you the secrets for luxury gains. Digital wave we ride. Strategies we provide. No need to hide. Success is on your side. Close deals like a pro. Watch your profits grow. High standards we show. Feel that golden glow. We're the iconic agent. New construction's our lane. Teaching you the secrets for luxury gains.
All right, welcome. It is May 6, 2026, and this is the weekly Wednesday midweek tune-up, your quick midweek calibration for new construction, real estate, marketing, and mindset momentum every Wednesday at 1:30. So here's how these calls work. The tune-up, which is what we're on right now, is the what? It's a one-way conversation. This is the weekly midweek tune-up new construction conversation. We walk through what to do and what's working. The how to do exactly what we're talking about is an interactive two-way conversation, and that's the new home marketing insider. That's the what to do, how to do it, with support, question and answers, community, and monthly virtual training resources and tools. So you can join the insider by scanning this code or going to theiconic.com/insiders. If you have questions about what we discussed today, join this month's free AMA coaching call on Tuesday, May 12th. That's next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, live only. There are no recordings. The recordings only go to insiders. So if you have questions about anything new construction marketing, real estate marketing, join the free AMA once a month on a Tuesday. This month is May 12th, and you can ask questions. We'll coach you live there. We usually stay on for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, or as long as we need to, within reason. Or you can join the insider and you can ask insider questions 24/7 as well. You get coaching, case studies, training, support, resources, and tools. So today, we're going to dial in. We're on a time crunch here. I know Nate's got some things to do, and we have the accelerator to get to later this afternoon, the clients that are in that. So the elephant in the room, what to do when a buyer walks into a model home without you and signs in. So let me pull up my notes here. And Nate, we see here. Okay, so starting off, there's going to be two scenarios that we're going to cover. So one, a buyer goes in without you and registers. So we have from leads generated. So you're generating leads for new construction, and then they go around you. That's one. Second scenario is your actual clients, people you're actively working with, go sign in at a sales center. So when we talk about the leads being generated, you've got brand new lead just came in fresh off the boat. And then you have leads you've been nurturing. You've had conversations, you've gone back and forth. You haven't quite met them, or maybe you have, or they're right there, you're nurturing them. So you're kind of building them up, educating them, et cetera. So that's from the leads perspective. And then from clients, you have your current active clients that are looking. You're sending them MLS listings, you're sending them information. You guys are having dialogue. They've signed a BBA, and you are actively working with them, but they ended up going around you, not realizing it. Go to a sales center and register. What do you do? Then there's past clients that you've been nurturing maybe once a month or however often you're, whatever cadence you're doing, and they do the same thing. So it's multiple different scenarios we want to cover. But let's back up. For the first thing is, Nate, let's walk through the registration process because it's way different than resales. What is it? What's procuring cause? And is it required on the first visit? So you can kind of walk through from those agents that don't know or don't quite understand how that works. What is the registration process and why is it a problem if they go around you or not?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that registration process is going to be predicated. It's going to be built on what everybody hears me say all the time. It's going to be built on your relationship. So in all cases, when you're working with a client, that client needs to be registered, meaning that that client's name, phone number, email address should have been sent or recorded with the developer as one of your clients, as someone you are actively working with. In the case of a community that you've never been to, that they don't know you, you don't know them, that's going to always be the case that you have to physically accompany them. In a lot of new construction, even so, I was just in a rental building up in Palm Beach the other day, and she said to me verbatim, you have to physically accompany them on their first visit. So there are going to be places where if you don't have any relationship with them, you have to physically accompany them, and there's no way around that. During that initial visit, though, is when they're going to fill out a registration form and identify you as their realtor. Now, the other side of that is the two relationship-based scenarios. So let's say you have a great relationship with the on-site sales staff, and you're out, wheeling and dealing with another client, and you can call because this person is telling you they're coming. You can call the on-site salesperson, hey, Damon, my client's coming in, can you take care of them? Or in the case of someone who's already gone and you didn't register them, that is almost always going to be a coin toss. It's going to be up in the air. It's going to depend on what happened in your relationship. If someone walks into a sales center without you and does not tell the on-site salespeople that you're their agent, you're not their agent. And that is going to be incredibly challenging for you to convince a developer that this person who didn't identify you as their agent is your agent. So it's relationship based in almost every scenario. It's going to require that you are building a rapport, that you have a meaningful relationship there to be able to say, hey, this is my client. And some of that's education, right? So to sort of jump into the next point, some of that is when your initial conversations with your clients should be based around, hey, if you're working with me, I need to accompany you to these sales centers or I don't get paid. A lot of agents shy away from from the money conversation, but none of us are here working for a nonprofit. We're all here to make money, and your client has to be aware of that, and they have to be aware that if they do something that cuts you out of a deal, then you can't help them. You legally, none of my agents can go into a sales center or help somebody on a transaction that they are not representing. Because if something bad happens during that transition or that transaction, our insurance doesn't cover you working for somebody that you're not that's not your client. And that's not just true of Black Luxury, that's true of any brokerage. Our insurance doesn't cover that. So if you're helping someone who's not your client and something goes left and they decide to sue you, you are on your own because you're helping somebody for free. So
Yeah, so let's go through quickly, like, why does that happen? So there's a couple scenarios, and I know we've had the coin toss, we've had this happen before, and we made a commission, and I know there's times where there hasn't been. So, the fish people. So buyers don't think to call. They're like, oh, well, let me just stop. Hey, honey, let's just go stop here. They don't know what they're signing. So I have recently, my parents, for the last 10 years, they've been talking about downsizing. They might actually be doing it now. So based on discussion with my mom, I'm like, okay, you'll probably want to look at new construction. It's in Jersey. There's not a lot of new construction. They might do a 55 plus. Long story short, I told her, I was like, I'm going to work to help find you an agent in Jersey. We might have found somebody thanks to the Black Luxury Collective network. May have found somebody, but what I told my parents was, if you happen to go, because I'm sending them some new construction, using the resources we have in the Insider to help find new construction that's not listed in the MLS, so it's pretty much like off market, but knowing how to find that. I said, if you go anywhere, don't sign anything. If you do sign something, well, actually, don't sign anything. Just tell them you're going to wait for your agent to come and you guys are just looking, because it's not, you don't have to do it. You can just walk in and take a look. So I explained that to them because they wouldn't know. They're like, oh, yeah, I'll sign it. And they don't know they're like signing off and they can't, whoever I get to help them or whoever they find to help them, they can't get paid. And it's like hands off. I think people also get caught up in the cool. Like, you walk in the sales center, it's a really dope environment, and you're looking around and it's cool, and they're having conversations, and it's a sales environment. So I think people get caught up in that. As you alluded to a little earlier, Nate, the agent has to prep. If it's a buyer, if it's a lead, if it's a client or a lead, you have to prep them. We'll go a little more into that. And then, of course, you get those folks. I posted something, I think I posted something on social media, and we have some jackwagon that came back. It was something about commissions, but they thought they were smarter than the agent. And this guy was like, yeah, well, I just don't use an agent because I pocket that 3 to 4%. And I'm like, dummy, number one, you can't do that unless you're an agent. It's not legal. You're not saving any money. But you do get some people that think they're smarter than agents, so they're just going to go around them, and that's kind of a hands off. So let's kind of dive deeper into those and what else you've seen is like, why does this happen?
yeah, well, the people like that, I like to say that I only want to work with people that want to work with me.
100%.
So if your goal is to go try to cut me out of a deal or to go to the sales center because you think you're saving money, then you're not part of my tribe, no way, and we probably shouldn't be working together. So the goal on the front end as realtors, as real estate professionals, whether you're a realtor or not, if you're a licensed real estate agent and you're actively helping people find property, they are working with you, or at least they should be working with you, because they trust your expertise. And if someone trusts your expertise, the foundation of that is that you are working with them to find something. And that person trusting your expertise also means that it's your job to live up to that trust. And in living up to that trust, a big part of that is having that conversation, being able to tell them up front, hey, it's my goal to help you find properties. If you see something you like, if you drive past a community, then send me a text, call me, let me know. Because if you go into any of these communities and I'm not with you, there's a lot of places, there's plenty of buildings in downtown Miami right now that'll say, no, you have to accompany them on their first visit. They won't even, so if they sign anything, then you're done. You have to be able to articulate that to your client in a way that they understand what's going on. So that also means that if you've done your research, especially when it comes to pre-construction, you're already sending them all the stuff that's in the area. So it should be very unlikely that if you've had a conversation with them, that they're going to drive by or see anything that you haven't already shared with them. Like that should be, it's not impossible, but it should be very unlikely. And in the event that they do, they should do exactly what you just sort of alluded to with your parents. They walk into a space and they, oh no, I have an agent. I'm coming back with my agent. I'm not signing nothing. Like if they don't have the ability to do that, if they don't do that, then they're not interested in working with you. So it's a clear thing when it comes to communication. That's the foundation of all of this. If you're not working with people who respect your expertise, then everything else doesn't matter. So when we're talking about leads, when we're talking about that follow-up sequence, when we're talking about that initial follow-up when someone gets a response from hitting one of your landing pages or responding to one of your ads or responding to one of your social media posts, that is rooted in someone wanting to work with you because they believe that you can help them achieve their real estate goal. So it is our job once we start that dialogue to make sure that we are articulating to them the importance of, if you want me to work with you on an acquisition, you need to make sure that you are letting anyone you talk to know, because this is true of resales as well. If you walk into an open house and you sign a sign-in sheet and say you're not working with an agent, you're dead in the water. Like, so we need to make sure that you're talking to people, you're explaining to your clients that by working with you, there's certain protocols that they have to be aware of if they want you to be a part of any transaction as they move forward.
All right, so let's dive into that deeper. So let's talk about proactive prevention of this for new leads and leads you're nurturing. So somebody that just came in 30 days ago, they're nurturing, you're having some dialogue, but you haven't really met yet, or lead just came in, fresh off the boat, within 24 hours. Now, I will want to preface that the December, we're not going to go deep into the relationship side because I know Nate's really going to dive into that. I know he's going to want to dive into that, but we're limited on time. The December 30th tune-up, we walked through a whole episode on the relationships with the sales staff. But Nate, for new leads and leads you're nurturing, let's say 0 to 30 days, what's some proactive approaches we can do for that? Then we'll talk about current clients and then past clients, proactive prevention.
New leads, you should lead with the fact that you do not work for the developer.
Say it again.
They should be very clear that you do not work for the developer. I tell clients, I do not work for the developer. It is the on-site sales staff's job to sell that property for the most money. It is my job to get you the best deal on your home. They have to understand that. That is the biggest misconception, the biggest excuse sometimes, because sometimes it's not a misconception. Sometimes it's an excuse. Is someone, oh, I thought you worked for the developer. And they'll use that as an excuse to avoid the fact that they went directly to the sales center. So with new leads, with leads you're nurturing, I know some people in the program have it in their email signature, as well as making it a point of a point that they include in the bodies of their email. You want to be very, very clear with people that you do not work for the developer.
Yep. Okay. So what about current clients, past clients that you've been nurturing? Maybe they're going to buy again soon, send referrals, etc.
Yeah, well, current clients, I think, and even current, like past clients, people you're nurturing, especially current clients and past clients, people you work with regularly, that should be part of the ongoing conversation. It shouldn't be a thing to them, because they should trust. I tell my clients, treat me like I'm your attorney. If before you talk to anybody about real estate, they should come talk to me. Why? Because if they're talking real estate, I should be involved. And that's usually that frame of reference helps to keep me top of mind. Our goal, everyone on this Zoom's call, everyone on the live on Facebook, all of our goals is to occupy the space in our client's brain so that when anybody says anything about real estate, they think of us. So when real estate as a subject comes up, you should be prepared to be able to say, hey, oh, let me call my agent on that. Let me include I have an agent. I'm very interested. I have clients right now that they call numbers on people on yard signs all the time. And they'll call a buyer or call a listing agent or call a seller or whoever. And they will say to that listing agent or seller, hey, I have an agent. My agent's going to call you. I just had a quick question for you. So for your current clients, for clients you are actively working with, for people you're following up with, for leads you're nurturing. You have to be clear with them about that you being an independent agent, but that goes hand in hand with people trusting your expertise. Right? When you go to the doctor tells you what to do if you want to get better. You do what he told you to do. He doesn't have to tell you multiple times. Why? Because you trust that doctor's expertise. If you're talking to your accountant and you're worried about paying taxes, you do what they told you to do because you don't want to end up in trouble with the IRS. They don't have to tell you multiple times. That's the level of respect for our expertise that our clients need to have when it comes to us educating them on what's going on with real estate transactions. They need to trust your expertise so that when you say, hey, if somebody asks you something, let me know. If you have a question, let me know. If you see a property you're interested in, text it to me. Not, oh, I'm just going to go in here and take a look. Because if they do that, and sometimes it can be just something innocent. So it's not to say that mistakes don't happen, because they do. But because this is real estate, a mistake can cost you $100,000. So you have to have that level of rapport with your clients. And in some cases, I know I've had it. I'm sure a couple other people on this Zoom have had it. You have those clients that will back out of a deal if you're not going to work with them. So then that just puts a lot of pressure on a listing agent. It can put pressure on a developer. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they'll let them go. Other times they still want to get that resale sold, so they'll pay you the commission. If it's a developer, sometimes you can have a good enough relationship with that developer where they might not pay you the whole commission, but you can prove that was your client. So maybe they'll pay you an override. Maybe they'll pay you a referral fee or something like that. So it's very much relationship driven, but above and beyond all of that is our job to communicate clearly to your client so they understand exactly where you stand in the transaction.
Give that nugget again about the lawyer. That's something I think everybody should adopt.
Yes, the best example I can give is anyone who knows anyone who's ever been in trouble with anything legal. What do they say? Talk to my lawyer. If you get any kind of trouble, talk to my lawyer. You should treat your agent, me as your agent. You should look at me as your real estate, protection.
Yep.
Hey, I don't talk anything real estate without my agent present. Hey, well, let me call him. I can give me your card. I'll send him a picture. Like that type of stuff. You want them to trust your expertise. And what happens, and you'll see this, I know I've had conversations with a couple people. I know me and JR have had this conversation. Me and Tamara have had this conversation. Like, there will be clients that once you have that level of trust, no matter where they are, they can be in another state, they can be in another country, and somebody asks them about real estate, they're going to call you because you occupy that space in their brain. But it takes intentional communication and very clear communication about what you do and how you get paid for them to understand. All of my clients are very clear that if you involve yourself in any real estate transaction and you do not include me from the beginning, I won't get paid. And if I'm not getting paid, I can't help you. And because they want me to help them, what do? They make sure that they include me from the beginning of every real estate transaction. If there's the possibility of a real estate transaction, I have a client who buys businesses. If he finds out that there's land attached to the business, he calls me because he wants me to be a part of that. And he knows if I'm not a part of it from the beginning, I can't help him.
I think, can I say something? I think one of the big reasons, especially with new construction and new leads, new clients, is that they think they're going to get a better deal, a better price if they go straight to the developer, because they think, well, my broker is going to get a commission. Maybe I can negotiate a better price with the developer. I mean, isn't that like, I would, maybe not so much in retail, maybe with somebody you know very well that won't go around you, but somebody new, they think that they go straight to the developer, they'll get a better deal. And that's not
but but again, that goes back to getting people to respect your expertise, right? Do you think you'll get better treatment if you go diagnose yourself on WebMD or if you go to the doctor, right? So there are one of the harsh realities of being a real estate agent is probably half the people that we talk to aren't a good fit to work with us. Where personality or rapport or whatever, it just doesn't work. right? So there are some people who believe that the real estate service, and there are actually companies, very large companies now, because of all this consolidation, that are trying to commoditize what we do as real estate agents. So to a lot of people, real estate agents are just interchangeable. They can just swap us around. So part of what I think is becoming more and more important for us as agents is to build brands, and those brands are based on our expertise. And when you are comfortable with letting people go, one of the most powerful words in sales is probably no. Like I've had plenty clients that I'm like, hey, no, hey, if you're gonna go over there, no, I'm good. I don't need that. I can't show you right now. I can show you tomorrow. Like, oh, well, because they have to respect our expertise. They have to respect our business acumen the same way we respect other people in other professions. Right? You make an appointment to see your doctor. You make an appointment to see your accountant. You make an appointment to see your lawyer. You don't call them at 1:00 and say, "Can you see me at 1:30?" The same way you shouldn't call a real estate agent and say, "Hey, I want to see this property at 1:30." So part of the foundational piece of that is us building rapport and setting a standard that says, I'm a professional, and these are this is the framework that I work within. And if that framework can help you achieve your goals, I'm all about it. But if this framework doesn't work for you, A, you can kick rocks, or B, maybe I can refer you to someone else on my team, someone else in my network whose personality is a little more agreeable.
All right, awesome. So we are just about the top of the hour. So we can continue this conversation over at the Insider. If you like archives and resources, if you want to rewatch this, listen to the New Construction Marketing Archives for the Tune-Up, download the infographic and resources, go to the iconicagent.com/tune-up. If you would like to continue this conversation, get your questions answered around this content, join the New Home Marketing Insiders. You want the exact strategies, training, prompt, guidance. All of that is exclusive to New Home Insiders. You can scan this QR code or go to the iconicagent.com/insiders, and you'll have full access to get your questions answered, ask questions. We have bonus training. We actually have a couple of market insights coming up. We have some tricks in the bag we've been working on that we'll be sharing in there soon. So that is where you get full community and coaching. So we'll see you on next Wednesday, 1:30, same time. Head on over to the iconicagent.com/tune-up to get notified, or the Insiders, you'll get notified on either or. Nate, you want to take us out?
Thank you for coming out. God bless. Go get the money.
Digital wave we ride, strategies we provide. No need to hide, success is on your side. Close deals like a pro, watch your profits grow. High standards we show.